All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachah, Hakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakatham. And this is going to be a quick lesson through the spirit, man. I don't have any precepts lined up, but this is a video just dropped. This is Jimmy Dore. He's going in lately, man, which I've been watching him for a minute, but Bill Gates has made a new product. Okay, you brothers, let me know if y'all would take this or eat this, man. You know, and I really just kind of wanted to title this, you know, take care of your health, you know, and just be mindful of things, because they're gonna slip things like this in without telling you. See, right now they're advertising, trying to sell you on it, but we already know how that goes. If selling it to you don't work for you to do it on your own volition, they just pass a law and they just punch it in anyway. You know, they gonna do what they got to do, and ultimately we need Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, this is a funny video. It's 22 minutes long overall, but we obviously not gonna watch that much. You want to just get to the points. But the first 10 minutes of it or so I watched, I'm like, wow, man. You know, this is it's ridiculous. But let's watch. We'll get some precepts. See what comes to mind. Lord willing, is edifying.
She's telling you how healthy it is for everything else except you.
Sustainable, I think is the term.
Right? Oh, it's good for the land. It's good for the... This is the best part. She's telling you how healthy it is for everything else except you.
Sustainable, I think is the term.
Right? Oh, it's good for the land. It's good for the environment. It's good. What about me? Oh, well... There's a new butter that's not made of anything natural. And it's from... because, you know, you want to eat things that are neither animal nor a plant.
That's true.
Like when you were a little kid and you used to eat Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Remember how smart you used to be then? Remember that?
Yeah. Till RFK wants to take my glue away.
So this is it. They've got a company in Batavia, Illinois. Batavia, which sounds like where Dracula goes in the summer. Batavia, Illinois, is making butter in a way you've never seen before. No animals, no plants, no oils. Because that sounds healthy, doesn't it? It's made out of not a plant or an animal.
Sounds sustainable, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, super. The sustainability-focused approach has the blessing and the backing of Bill Gates himself. Yep,
Ooh,
Bill Gates.
Blessed
Wow.
it and backed it.
All right.
Fertilizers or any... I hope so.
So you heard that, okay? You heard who's behind it, okay? And see, this is how the wicked gets down. I'm gonna get Isaiah 54 in a second, but I'm gonna type in the word privily, okay? You know, a few precepts come to mind because we know how these demons get down behind the scenes. Okay, he'll invest in things behind the scenes. What else did he invest in? He invested in a company called Good Foods, where they're making meat out of nothing. Basically, they're taking some cow stem cells. Really, they're cancer cells. Okay, but they don't call them cancer cells. They call them immortalized cells. That's what they call them. Okay, but they're cancer cells because only cancer cells can replicate like that without any kind of anything. You know, they don't have any kind of. They just grow and grow and grow. That's how tumors get born, because cancer cells, they just grow indiscriminately, whereas normal cells, they communicate with each other and decide whether or not to grow here or to grow there, or this cell is off. You know, cancer cells just grow and grow, even at the expense of the organ that they're sitting on, you know? And that's how they grow a lot of that meat there, okay? That's really what it is, man, okay? And it's gonna be illegal to even say these things. Who knows if this video will even still be up, you know, in the days coming, you know? But this is you trust them though. But this is Psalms 10 and 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. See, they want to destroy us. They're not eating this. Bill Gates, he's not eating this. Okay? And so, brothers, you got to get in the habit of putting your best foot forward there and being careful, man. All this processed food is literally poison, and because they know people are now addicted to it, they've doubled down and made it even more poison. It's to the fact now, I already know when they say natural ingredients, or they say natural flavors or natural food colorings, whenever they say that, that's a legal term they got they lobbied it and they got it approved to have these chemicals be labeled as natural ingredients or natural flavors. See, it doesn't mean natural flavor doesn't mean it's a natural food. That means it tastes like something natural. You see? And so they got a legal loophole. So when you go buy anything in a box or in a bag, and it's, you know, it ain't got no expiration date on it, okay, it's gonna destroy you, man. Okay, you gotta start eating whole foods, man. We gotta get better about that. Okay, we don't have long here, but just practice the discipline, and because this food here is demonic, man. Okay, and Bill Gates is funding all of this. Okay, in Psalms 11:2 it says, "For lo, the wicked bend their bow; they make ready their arrow upon the string that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart." Okay, they do these things privily, man. On the surface, they're selling you on like, oh, it's natural. They use the word sustainable, you know. But what is it really? Okay, you should know how the wicked gets down. Let's play some more. Try to get through this.
No. It looks, smells, and tastes like butter. We all know, but it's made without farmland, fertilizers, or anything.
Nice.
Nice.
This is like Star Trek times.
So it's like a new Bill Gates Franken butter. And no, I don't mean L. Franken. I have no idea what he uses for lube. But
The blessing and backing of Bill Gates. It's the Epstein of butters, if you will.
yeah. Well, here it is. This is the CBS Chicago report on this. You want to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia.
And you see, they get a nice, attractive looking Edomite woman. You know, she's up there with the butter in her hand to sell you on it. Okay, sex sells here, man. And a dopey, you know, distracted, you know, through individual will just read it. They'll just, or listen to it. They'll hear it from her and be like, oh, that sounds great. They said it was sustainable. You know, sustainable means they don't tell you what they're sustaining. Okay, they're not sustaining you. Okay.
In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
So you're using this gas right now to like cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
Okay. Did she just say, instead of using gas to cook your food, why don't we just feed you the gas? Am I hearing this wrong?
No, that's what she said, isn't it?
Yeah,
It sounds.
that was a slip
Let's
there.
listen more.
That was a slip there. Yeah, they putting some bullshit in there, man. I'm telling you. Okay. Now, why do you think they're outlawing? You saw what happened in 2020. You couldn't even say nothing. You'll be talking about you know, the Bulls game, and they talking about, oh, medical misinformation. Like, well, what are you talking about, man? I just said, you know, Michael Jordan was a great player, and then boom, it sounded like you're giving health advice, you know, and they just flagging you over and over again. You barely speak a word, man. You know, some brothers used to get their videos taken down literally the second after it gets uploaded, man. You know, back in those days. Why is that? That's coming back because they know that they don't have a winning argument. Even they can't even win an argument to these stupid low-level people. Can't even tell you how many states are in America. Don't know what continent they're on, and they still can't win an argument. So they gotta force it. They gotta force it on you, man. Okay. You know, that's how bad that's how we know we're at the end, man.
The company is called Savor.
The company's called Savor, Kurt, because I guess Poisoner was already taken. It's called Savor. Okay, here we go.
And you better believe it, their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen.
See, these Edomites are on to them, man. Okay? They're on to them. I'll bring that precept back out. You know, the elder mentioned this in Job 20, you know, a couple weeks ago, and it fits here as well, because they're all laying hands on them through the Spirit, you know. Job 20, and 20, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. There shall no man look for his goods. Okay? So he's going to be desolate and through, man. And nobody wants anything to do with the goods of America anymore. All of the food that gets made here is usually banned overseas, man. Okay? The meat, the bread, all right? A lot of these products that you see on the grocery stores here, even like Oreos and sodas, they'll have them overseas, but it's a completely different recipe, completely. I'm talking about like 3 or 4 ingredients on the back, man. You look on the back of them here, it's like 12,000 ingredients, and you can't pronounce none of them, okay? So nobody's looking for the goods here, and it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, okay? And this is going to start here. His own people are going to start condemning him and calling them out, and that's what you have here, okay?
To make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient.
Yeah, because remember, that's all you need to know is how something tastes, right?
Right. See, they're playing on it tastes like it, okay? And what they're really gonna get people is they make it super cheap, okay? You going in the store right now, and a stick of butter is $8, okay? And then you got this over here, you know, you can get it for $1.50. Why do you think people eat processed foods today? Because they made the real whole foods more expensive, okay? Go try to go to the grocery store and buy all organic stuff and see how much that shit costs, man. Okay? They've already done that, okay? They're making natural whole foods obsolete, and even the natural whole foods are through. Most of those are some kind of genetically modified, because they've been doing this since the 60s, man. Okay? Hardcore, I mean, at least. You see, that's why the Lord got to come back.
Not what's in it or what it does to you. Just if it tastes. Does it taste like it? Then that's it.
I'll bet it doesn't taste like it also.
Okay.
List the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
Oh,
How?
Natural flavor.
What? Where?
What? It's just, you know, some emulsifier and some colors, some natural flavors.
Yeah, natural
Really?
flavors.
Is arsenic one of the natural flavors? I'm just asking.
Yeah, and that's literally questions you got to ask nowadays. Okay? Mark 13:20, and except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days. You see? There's no hope outside of Yahushua, man. Okay? There's absolutely no hope. This nigga has got a vice grip, and the reason he does it is because the Lord gave him the power to do it. You see? That's why Yahushua is the only straight gate, the only means of repentance is going through Yahushua, man. Because the Lord set up Satan on the left-hand side. Okay? You can't defeat the power of the Lord, whether it's on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, okay? You might as well give it the program. Repent, get your shit together. You know, build up your discipline. Okay? Meditate on the evil days to come. Have a contrite heart. And have faith, man. That's what we're going to need to get up out of here. Okay?
Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here, replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
They're not like beef, cheese, and vegetable oils. When they say like, that means, like can mean anything. Like can mean it feels like something. Like can mean it tastes like something. But it don't mean it's actually like something. You know? When you get beef tallow or butter from a grass-fed cow, or goat milk, you know, or cheese from natural grown animals, Okay, those things have nutrients in them. It's not just they're trying to replicate things, you see, but they're not able to do it. Okay, and then what you're gonna end up doing is just destroying yourself.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
We're like not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though we're standing in a factory setting,
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this, right, the land footprint is like 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
So it sounds to me like this is the best part.
You don't need a small land footprint, man. Okay, you know how much land there is out here, man. They trying to smallen it, and that's what they're using. But that's what they use in the phrase sustainable. That's what they mean. They're using less land. Okay, well, if they're using less land, how are they producing the same volume of food? They're cranking it out synthetically in these bullshit factories. Okay. So this nigga gotta go, man. Hell no.
She's telling you how healthy it is for everything else except you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sustainable. I think is the term.
It's sustainable for everything else except you, because you're the new product now. Okay, you people are the new livestock. That's what they're planning to do. Okay, you already are really, but they just want to consummate this by fully taking you off the grid, fully getting your anonymity gone. Okay. They want to fully take away your means to transact privately. There ain't gonna be no such thing as privacy anymore, man. Okay? Once that happens and you don't know how to grow food, or the only way you can get a seed is you got to go to Esau and buy some weird modified bullshit. Okay?
Right? Oh, it's good for the land. It's good for the environment.
Everybody that says the Charagma is not on the way, they're out of their goddamn minds, man. It's completely obvious what is going on. When he calls it all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond and receive the mark, and you can't buy or sell. What does that mean? Even natural foods are being converted into some bullshit made by machines, man. And wait till AI gets plugged into it. Okay? AI might just rebel and say, damn, Esau, this is too much for even me. Okay? That's what the Terminator was about. Really, them Terminator, they was rebelling against Esau, really. Okay?
It's good. What about me? Oh, well, all that matters is how it tastes.
Yeah.
Watch this. And
you know what you're thinking. I think we need to taste
I
it.
would love for you to taste this.
How does it taste?
actually, that's not what I was thinking. Actually, what I was thinking is, what is this going to do to me? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What kind of poison are they now telling me is good? Remember how long they told you margarine was better than butter? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Boy, in the 90s, you couldn't tell nobody about margarine. They were hyping that up, and then they did the research and all of a sudden you find out it was just straight up BS, man.
Science told you that. Science told you that
Science,
margarine
yeah.
was bebetter than butter, and it turns out margarine is almost pure poison. Pure poison. It's all what is it called?
They don't even sell margarine like that no more, man. You know, they don't even because they know it was too much. You know, but they were so sure. Okay, and the same organization that was so sure back then, they're telling you got to trust me now. Okay, even though they make billions and billions of dollars on selling you that, they want you to believe they got your best interest at heart, man. This is probably know what I'm gonna go to. Psalm 55. And 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. See, this is warfare, man. This is biological warfare. Meanwhile, the hospital bills, number one, I tried to make a doctor appointment, a few weeks ago. They were talking about you can't even get into a hospital right now because it's so busy. Why is it so busy? They were talking about the wait list was like October. Some of them was January. I think the earliest one I saw when I called a couple months ago, this is like beginning of July or maybe the end of June. They were like, the earliest we can get you in is August, maybe at the end of August. But it was like September, October, some even January. Why is that? Because these hospitals are packed. Why are they packed? Because people are fucked up out here, man. Okay? They're making a bag off of you on the back end. You eating all of this bullshit. Okay? All of this inflammation. Okay? All of this high blood pressure and diabetes flying around. They're making a fortune, man. You know? It says, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? So this again is his MO. You get a nice, attractive looking Edomite woman to get up on camera and tell you all about the benefits.
Hydrogenated fats
Yeah.
that are stable at any temperature, and they're bad for you, and they clog your arteries and kill you.
Yeah.
They're the trans fats and the hydrogenated fat. They're the worst things. Okay. All right, here we go.
Love butter, so I'm gonna take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter.
Cheers.
It tastes like butter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
I
my.
can't believe
We're just some butter.
Another
And remember, that's all you need.
Just like it tastes like, it tastes like it. Thou shalt not surely die. All right? You know, it's just Satan to eat it. Eventually, you ain't gonna have a choice. You see, that's all we got to get delivered.
To know is how something tastes. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know what's actually in it, what it does to you, how long.
Well, that, you know, people tell me not to drink antifreeze, but guess what? I tried it, and it tastes great.
And that you were doing so well not researching any of the vaccines you were taking. So don't fall off that rocking hobby horse.
Fair use. I did not use that word. That was on the Jimmy Dore show. All right.
Now and start researching the food you're eating. Just use a handful of science words you heard on TV, and everyone's going to back off. Well, their molecules form chains, and that's why I'm eating it.
Yeah. Did you see that amazing?
But people really are that stupid, though. They really are that stupid. That's why these people are so irritating. That's why they're deserving of the judgment. Because even when they find out something is wicked, they don't care. Okay? You're just as bad, man. Okay? I don't care if you didn't have the gun in your hand. You were sitting there watching, you know, looking to benefit off of it.
Still get my head around the scientific process of they take oxygen molecules from the air, and hydrogen from the water. They heat it up, and now it's done. It's a chain. Oh, that's how.
Cheers. The person who knows absolutely nothing approves of how it tastes. Isn't that nice? Are we going to have a follow-up report of what she looks like in a few weeks after eating this stuff?
Right. That's why you don't have a scientist, the guy that made it. He's never going to sit down in the hot seat in the interview and be drilled or grilled, okay, on questions about what's in it. They got somebody that don't know nothing about nothing, this airhead woman, to go up there, well, it tastes like butter, okay? And the people, the real demons that made it in that sorcery, okay? They're gonna be nowhere to be found. If you get a hold of one of them, they gonna answer very few questions, okay? You're gonna find out they basically done no test on this stuff. Okay, I'll end it there. Let me get this last precept. This is Isaiah 54. Okay, in 16 it says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work." Okay, now we know this precept usually goes into the Esau and the nuclear weapons, but that's not the only thing that can cause mass destruction, man. Okay? Esau's probably killed more people through this FDA than he ever has with nukes so far. Now, we know what's coming with the nukes, okay? But it says, "And I have created the waster to destroy." Okay? In the NLT, it says, "I have created the blacksmith who fans the coals beneath the forge and makes the weapons of destruction." And see, when they take all of the farmland out and they condense it down to one factory, okay, that makes them liken it to a blacksmith, man. And what are they doing in these factories? What did the blacksmith make? He's making a weapon, because it ain't food. If you're not putting food into your body, you're destroying your body. Your body doesn't like foreign objects that it can't identify and detect. Okay, It's like, why is all of this mercury in this? Why is all of this, these aluminum in this and these heavy metals? And then your body starts to have adverse reactions to it, man. Okay? And they know this, okay? From experimenting on us, really. Okay? And so what you have is a giant weapon, okay? It says, verse 17, the main point, it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, okay? So we know we should still take care of our health. We should still avoid these kind of things. But ultimately, we know we got the victory already. And even though we got to suffer and eat a little bit bullshit here and there, the Lord ultimately is going to sustain us, man. Okay? The precept slips my mind, but what it speaks about, we shall eat poison and live. We shall eat poison and live. This is it, man. Okay? It says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord Yahweh. Okay? So everybody else, y'all about to be jacked up out here, okay? I'm seeing people out here more and more so on dialysis. When I went back home, one of my old homeboys from the world, known him for about, 20 years? Found out he's on dialysis now, man. You know? The things that are out here are destructive, man, okay? Anything that looks bright and colorful, just like in the wild, you see a bright and colorful frog, don't touch that, okay? That's how you got to be with this food, okay? You got to eat the boring, the bland, the whole foods, avocados, bananas, okay? Macadamia nuts, okay? Grass-fed beef, okay? Chicken. Not chicken nuggets, not TGI Fridays chicken nuggets in the freezer, in a box, okay? That ain't chicken. All right? Anyway, I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak V'dah Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.